I posted a 10-second video and made $642, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. The hate comments that are read and referenced in this video contain suggestive themes and foul language. Viewer discretion is advised. I believe this is one of my highest grossing videos on Facebook to date, and it's mainly because I made people mad. I didn't mean to make people mad, okay? I had no idea that this was going to be the outcome of this video. I thought I was participating in a trend that I had seen a lot of other people do, which is where they film themselves before versus after their work shift. This is me before spending 12 hours on set. And I just thought it would be funny to do that if I was going to be on set for a TV show. The TV show was 911 Nashville, by the way. Premieres in October. The reason this made so much money is because I made people mad, especially blue-collar people, and here's some of my favorite comments from that video. Joe says, "That looks more like me when I dressed up as a dead hooker for Halloween." To which I responded, "Are you wearing that costume in your profile pic?" Bridget says, "Jesus still loves you." And I responded, "I know, I was simply in a costume that was approved by wardrobe for a rave scene." Then she started to backpedal and said, "Oh, thank goodness, girl, give some content." I think she means context. "I'm so sorry for the assumption. You are beautiful. We gotta stop assuming things about people, bestie." Allison says, "Probably because with no context, people were assuming by the cloths she was making corn on that set." I said, "Aren't people usually naked for that?" To which she responded, no, they often start out in revealing clothing, you know, because that doesn't look like a normal work outfit." And I said, "Oh, sorry, you must watch it more than I do." Kelly says, who's a guy by the way, he says, "What role you play? The couch?" I said, "I don't know what looks worse, you or that shitbox car." Jason says, "What set was she on? A corno set? Looks like she got her guts rearranged." And I said, "You look like you need your face rearranged." Woof. Jared says, "Her set," with this picture. And I responded, "Why is it always dudes that look like this, that have a fetish for black men? By the way, your wife is stunning." She is. Absolutely. Like 10 out of 10. I said, "By the way, your wife is stunning. Too bad she's visually impaired." And here's a picture of Jared. Yeah. Donna Marie says, "You look ridiculous either way." So I just posted her own profile picture in response to that. Josh says, "LOL, you must have voted Harris." LOL. I said, "You should vote for your hair to stop receding." I must have struck a nerve because then he responded, "And you should get a job that actually requires you to not have your nasty fat posted all over a page trying to look cute when you look like a whale trying to be wrapped in a small tarp." Somebody's mad. I don't want to mess up this girl's name. I think it's Jada. She said, "On a couch?" And I said, "You're too pretty to be this hateful." Which, like, she is. But then someone responded and said, "Don't lie, she's not even that pretty." This guy, Jay, said, "OnlyFans counts as TV?" And this guy had been responding to at least 20 comments at this point, so I said, "You're policing these comments like it's your job. Does it pay well?" He didn't respond after that. Someone else chimed in though and said, "Couldn't decide on a hair color? Love the skirt." Rolling eye emoji. I said, "I got the hair 50% off." She responded and said, "Does anyone know how to block these dumb videos?" Wait, no, don't go. You're driving so much engagement to this post. No! What am I gonna do without Catherine? Tamara said, "Can't believe people paid for that. LMFAO. I said, "Come on now, Tamara." Come on now, Tamara. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Aaron Misty said, "So your hands and fingers are tired from stroking off your bosses to keep your job? I'm confused." Excuse me. I responded, "A joint Facebook account? Which one of y'all cheated?" They didn't like that one. Karen Thomas said, "What's the name of the corno?" And I said, "I'll text it to your husband." Someone else chimed in and said she was wanting a personal hookup. James Wyatt, whose full-time job must also be policing these comments because he was up in it. He said 12 hours on a treadmill is what I need. And I said, "You need 12 hours shutting up." Douglas said 12 hours is a lot of corn to perform. I said, "It sure is, just ask your mom." Peter Reimer says, "I couldn't give two shits. You dress like a child did before and after." And I said, "Are those AI generated wedding photos?" y'all, just, what is this? Anthony says, you're garbage. And I said, take off the hat, I want to see something real quick. He said, I got a full head of hair, you little twat. Trashy human. Nasty. So I said, prove it. He blocked me. My camera just died, so I don't know where I left off. Apparently my camera battery can't even take the smoke. Maybe that's my sign to wrap this video up because I don't know how much more of that BS I can take. All of those comments came from Facebook, by the way. I don't get comments like that on TikTok, and I don't get comments like that on YouTube. Everyone here on YouTube is super, super nice. Facebook and Meta in general is just... it's scary. That is just a fraction of the hate comments I got when I posted that 10-second video to Facebook, but it made me over $600. So, was it worth it? You let me know if you think it's worth it. I don't know. Is the monetary gain worth all the hate? And some might say, well, just ignore the comments. If you want to respond to the nice comments and build a community, you have to wade through the bad comments, unfortunately. I wish there was a way to just get around it, but as for right now, there is a tractor going down my road. As for right now, that is just what we're working with. If you want to see me react to more comments I get on my social media, just let me know. If this is your first time seeing me, consider subscribing, turning on that notification bell so you get a notification every single time I post. Thank you for all your continued support. Right before I hit record on this video, I hit 89,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I could not do any of this without you. I love you all so much, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!